Alright everybody, welcome to another day in paradise. Sun's shining, got a couple of hours here. Nothing too crazy today. I'm going to start doing a few little finishing up jobs that I need to do. One of them in particular is the gear stick. Everybody's been saying it's too high. And yes, it is a little bit high. I never sort of intended it to be that high, it just was nice and easy at the time. There's a couple of problems with the gear stick. The knob is too high. I will cut that down and bring it down a couple of inches, and that should be keep everybody happy and keep myself happy. It's not too bad, but the other problem I have with it is, if I can show you from, it's not actually connected at the moment. Now I'll stick it back on. Okay, over in reverse, and then first is minutely different. It's very easy to go from reverse and thinking that you're putting it into first, but you're actually hitting reverse again, because the gate are very, very narrowly stacked together with this setup. And I would assume that there's a possibility that in the heat of a race or something, you could probably money shift it real easy. And I'm not just saying that to be silly. I would hate to spend money on the engine and money shift it because of a silly thing like the shifter was not quite set up right. I have had other people not contact me but mention in comments and things that, you know, what are you going to do about the shifter in terms of the narrowness of the gates. So today I'm going to have a look at that. I have sort of had a bit of a look at it already. This is what I've got. I don't know if you can see it here. There's a mark there and a mark there. That is our gate fully one way. It's that mark, which is our 5th and 6th gate. And over here where the other mark is, that is reverse. First is there, second and third is there. That's reverse, that's first, second, that's about third and fourth, and that's 5th and 6th. There's not that much of a system of a gate spread there. So what I'm going to do, because if I take that off, I'm taking the little clip off it, there is actually quite a lot more. Get that out of the way. I'm going past that blue mark there, so I can actually get more movement out of the lever than I've got at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift that pinpoint upwards slightly, and that will hopefully spread out the each gate further apart, so that it's less likely to money shift it, or also make it easier just to select the gears, especially that first and reverse. It's got to help a little bit, that's for sure. It may not be a perfect solution, but that's what I'm going to do for a start, and we'll go from there. And then there's a possibility I may even look at putting some kind of reverse lockout or some sort of device in there to help you know, differentiate between first and reverse. So we'll see what we can do. Right, so shorten and modify. Done. Let's do it. Alrighty, okay, so here we go. Over here we have some bits. This is how much I've chopped off here. Probably about 45 mil or so. Took it down as far as the shaft was starting to get fat, so I couldn't be able to thread it very easily. So I think that'll come down the right amount, around about. I have then also done a couple of things here. I've chopped a section out of here, move this up slightly, It was a little bit more than that. I chopped it twice, so that we get a bit more of a movement there. And what I've this other little weird contraption is just to try out, like I was talking about, first versus reverse. So what I've got here is it goes over and hits that spring, and that is first, so it gives a bit of resistance, so you can feel it when it hits. And then if you want to go to reverse, you've got to force that spring, and that little forcing is going to put you in the reverse gate. So that may or may not help. It's just a little try. It was easy to do, so I just sort of give it a crack. But go along, hit it first, second, and then reverse. So we'll see how that goes. And I've also taken out these rubber bushings, which are on all the feet, and we'll see. I've chopped down these sleeved sections that went through them, so I'm going to try and get all the movement out of this as I can, and bolt it straight on. So we'll stick it in and see what it comes up like. Awesome. Alrighty, so she's in. I'll just put this on a different view. There we go. Rightio, so we're all in. We've got quite a lot of side to side movement up there. And we've got, seem to be hitting our range. It's obviously lower now, so it'll stop all the comments. Feels good. I'm yet to try my little gizmo there, but as you can see, hits the spring. That seems to be first and second, and then I hit the spring, and then I push the spring, and that's reverse. So I'll do a bit of fiddling with it. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Try a little, just see how that goes. Hit the spring first, second, and then hit the spring and push the spring, and it goes into reverse. So I'll call that a win for now. The whole thing's quite solid now with those rubber bushings gone. So every little bit counts. So we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll move on to the next project, and I'll show you what that is. Alright, that next project is a couple of things. I'm going to take the plenum off. There's a couple of things I need to do. I need to put a second return spring on for the throttle body, because our anal certifier rules here require 2 return springs. It's fine. So I've got to take the plenum off and weld to it. So I thought, yeah, I'll take it off and do it. So rather than trying to muck around with it in the car, because the other thing is, because I'm running just a simple management system on this, I don't have any idle control valve. I sort of never have really run an idle control valve on a car. It just seems more hassle than it's worth. But when this thing's stone cold, you have to sort of help it maintain idle for the first couple of seconds, about 5 seconds or so, and it idles very low because it's stone cold. And then when it warms up, it's sort of about that 1100. So it's sort of, yeah, it's usable, but it's not like you know, not that like a daily usable. So and because I'm running out of inputs and outputs on the ECU, because it's just a simple one, I've used this system before, and this is what it is. This here is a I don't know what you'd call it, a thermo valve type thing. Basically, it's an air bypass that when it gets hot, it blocks off an air bypass, and when it's cold, it lets the air through it. So, and it also has a little set of windings in it, so you can hook it up to a power supply. So you start it up, and the thing will bypass air and run fast idle, and then as it warms up, whether it be from the windings in here hooked up to power, or if it's just sitting in a hot engine bay, it will slowly close down that air bypass, and it will bring your idle back down to what it originally was. So that's a nice simple thing. I'll bolt at the bottom of the plenum and it's done and dusted, and we will have the ability to just reach in, start the car stone cold. It will sit there and idle perfectly, and then when it warms up it will bump itself down to a normal idle again. So the plenum's going to have to come off, so we'll get into that. Another job is obviously, like we talked about last time, is getting that exhaust sorted. I think I will do something with it. It is going to be too loud no matter what. So I'm trying to think of things I can do, because I really do think that the 4-inch is beneficial in the long term. So we'll see how we go. I think I'm opting on the side of making a small exhaust for it, like a 2.5-inch exhaust, with a good sized muffler on it to keep it quiet, and then basically have a 4-inch pipe going down to the ground, similar to that one, but obviously on this side here, and putting a flapper bypass in it, and then routing the 2.5-inch out and back into the opposite side of the flapper, so that it can run quiet and still have the ability to be cracked open and run a full straight and very obnoxious 4-inch exhaust when needed, whether that be a manual control, automatic control of some kind, or to abide by New Zealand rules, like a bolt, a system that requires tools to undo it and change it over. So I think at this stage I'll make it put an actuator on it of some kind, whether it be electrical or vacuum or boost operated, and have the ability to put a bolt in it so that it passes the requirements, and then obviously I can take the bolt out and just run it every day once it's certified, if that makes sense, if you know what I mean, wink wink. Anyway, so I'll get into it. I'll get this plenum off, get this bypass valve put onto it, and return spring for a start, and we'll go from there. Sweet. Rightio, and this is just on a side note here. I'm going to make this a pretty short video with not much happening in it. I've got to go away this afternoon, so I can't crack on and get things done, but next time I will get through it all. But just while I was walking out here, I thought, right, I'll show you what I've just turned up in the mail today. These are going to be for the built motor. Some bits are starting to roll in. We have some proper forged connecting rods. They're Chinese. They're labelled SPA, which I know is a known brand. These are slightly more expensive ones. I mean, slightly more expensive. Sometimes the pitches are different from what you get, and this one here is no exception. I was sort of expecting possibly an issue, but not really an issue, but I know the pitcher has a slot machined in this area here for like a half pie oil squirter. These rods don't have it, in the pitches they did, but that's alright. The engine's got oil squirters anyway. So we've got a proper forged rod. It's an I-beam rod as opposed to an H-beam rod. Also the other way around. Anyway, and they've got spec sheets and things with them, all handwritten, filled out supposedly, unless it's a really good photocopy. And this doesn't have the 3/8 bolts, it has the 7/16 bolts holding it together. So on SPA's website, they're rated for 1100 horsepower, which is way more than I'd ever think about. But I thought, well, for the slightly more dollars, why not get the bigger bolts? I mean, I doubt whether they're ARPs, but they're obviously China ARPs. I don't know, but yeah, I mean they look good. There's a couple of little scuff marks here and there, but you know, you can tell that they're proper forged ones. You know, they've been stamped rather than cast, so that's cool. So the parts are starting to roll in. I'm waiting for some pistons from Turkey, believe it or not, of all places, Turkey. And I'll show you them when they turn up as well. So, yep, I just thought I'd show you that on my way out, and we shall continue. Alright, that's it for today. Sorry that's a short, unfinished sort of video, but I just thought I'll get another one out this week, and next time I get a chance, when I've got a full day to muck around, I'll get those other jobs done on the car, sitting over there all lonely. The plenum and the exhaust get into it. Alright, see you later. Bye bye.